Is my timer counting down? Hmm. Boop, boopity boop. Ready? Got my roller, got my mat, I've got my dealies. I know what temp I'm going on. I wonder if you can hear me in this part. That'd be wild. Oh my goodness. Okay. We are learning things. But we can't see me, so I can dance. I can snap. We can test. I know, I'm testing things. Am I... You can hear me though, right? Or no? I mean, it's 5 now, so I'll switch it over. There it is. I have a second cam now, a nicer cam. Let's turn it a little bit. Get the sync out of there. We will come up with a better solution for that at some point, but it's new. We're learning things. It's great. We can learn together. It is now perched on a peanut butter jar. Um, it's fine. It works. It's good enough. That's the tagline. So, hi. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Ooh, this is a angle. Okay. But welcome anyway to It's Good Enough. I should look at this camera because that's the one that my face is on. I am a pro. I'm not. Ha! And the lights, of course, are being good to me. Amazon, turn on the kitchen. Okay. Well, Mark is playing with them because he's the pro. Oh, I see. So you don't just see the lights. Okay, great. Take two. Three, four, whatever take we're on by now. But welcome again. I should put this over here because I'm not looking at the thing and then I won't get confused and look at the wrong video. My goodness, I should start over. Welcome to It's Good Enough to Eat. I am Warren. Call me Quake. This is Quake's Bakes also. Pronouns he, him. Mark is doing technical stuff in the background, also pronouns he, him. That is my husband. And I'm speaking really quickly, so I will slow down. But today we are making chocolate shortbread filled in various ways. And if you hear tell my coworkers in our team's meeting this morning, they were very excited for some of the fillings that I have planned, even though they don't get to eat them because I don't go to the office. But it'll be delicious anyway. Maybe I'll do a drive-by, drop them off in the break room, and then skedaddle on out of there. But first, we will make a drink. I should come up with a slightly different thing so I don't look like I'm stealing that from Damon. Because we love Damon on Game Scoop. He does that whole but first thing. But yeah, we're gonna make a drink, and we have already measured everything out ahead of time. Of course, I poured my ice ahead of time too, so it's melting. It's all right. But I have said before, I am a vodka tonic guy, so I'll show you how easy and simple and delicious this is. Hi, Bo. Welcome. Glad to see ya. So I have my half a lime here, which I will just squeeze right over my ice and also over the sink because I will most likely drip some down the glass and down my hands and spill everywhere. And I don't want this lime in my cookies because that is not going to play nicely with what I'm doing. The flavor, I mean, lime and chocolate's going to be okay if I did the right fillings with it, but that is going to play havoc with my cookie recipe because there's baking soda in there. And if I get acid in there, then it is going to rise too much and it won't hold these lovely shapes that my husband was so kind to print me some nice cookie cutters, single-use cookie cutters, unfortunately, because we don't have food. We don't have washable ones. When they're virgin, they are food safe. But since they are not the right kind of plastic, I cannot sanitize them to use them again. So unfortunately, one-use cookie cutters. But it means I have a lot of fun stuff and I don't have to keep a million around the house. I will feel bad later about throwing away plastic. Anyway, we are doing portion control today, so I have measured out my shot of vodka right in there. And then I've got my mom's favorite low sugar tonic water. Give us some bitter notes and some bubbles, because we like those. We like a balanced drink. Got the sour and the bitter. And that is a delicious vodka tonic. And now we can get going on the cookies, now that everyone is properly hydrated. Mark was supposed to provide me with gingham. We've been watching a lot of the Great Canadian Bake Off lately because I think we're between seasons of British Bake Off and we don't know how to get the Stand Up to Cancer episodes. But there you go, Teo. You're just racking up the points. I was going to throw a variation of squats on there to do weighted ones, but that is going to be difficult in the kitchen, so I disabled it for the kitchen stream, just in the interest of not bringing a piece of workout equipment into the kitchen during this stream. So other streams, you'll catch it. So cookie dough to start out, just like a million other recipes. Of course, starts with butter. This has been sitting on the counter. It's nice and soft, and I'm just going to whisk that up until it is nice and mayonnaise-y in consistency. And of course, this is the same bowl I made my earlier demo dough in, so it smells lovely and chocolatey already. See, as fast as that, if your butter is nice and soft and sitting out, it beats up really quickly and nicely. So, now we just need to weigh out some sugar, add that in, because what is almost any cookie but butter, sugar, flour, and some flavorings. A little bit of leavening depending on what you're doing. Go, get my sugar out of the way because I am spreading out today and I'm going to need room for things. I cleared off my countertop up here so I have a place for cookies to cool. And then I immediately filled it up with remnants of drink making. Let's turn on the oven though. Get that ready to go because this will not take too long. So then I'm just beating my sugar into my butter until it's nice and creamy. That's called creaming your butter and sugar, if you can imagine that. Getting a good workout today because this is you could certainly use a mixer, but if we want to keep our viewers happy with our flexing, we need to give those arms a workout. And again, that is only going to take a little bit since our butter is nice and soft. And I'm going to say I'm done with this because I already took care of the beating of the frosting that I'm making. So I'm going to put that in the sink, get rid of it. Because now, since this is going to get nice and stiff and cookie doughy, I'm going to use I did need the whisk again. Dang it, always happens. I should know better, but I don't. So I'm going to I'll be fine. Let's just use a fork. So, my pre-measured other ingredients. Woo, I know what I'm doing. I'm getting used to camera angles. For those of you who have tuned in before, we are playing with some extra camera and seeing how that works out for us. But this is just already weighed out flour, cocoa powder to make them chocolatey, and salt and baking soda. Salt not to make it salty, like I've said before, but salt to bring those other flavors in. It is seasoning, not saltiness. Just like a good personality, you need to be seasoned, not salty. That didn't really work. That anecdote, that idiom, something, not quite. It's not quite there, but the feeling is there. Sass, not salt. Sass is close to season. It's close enough. It's good enough, right? And then we're just gonna add that half at a time. I could have sifted those ingredients also, but then I would have to wash my sieve. And that is actually one of the more pain in the butt cooking implements to wash. Never seems to want to get completely clean. It's another reason I'm not going to strain my jam, which if I was on the Bake Off, they would give me no end for. But one, it's not jam if it's strained. It needs the bits of fruit in it, or else it's jelly, not jam. And two, I like the bits, so I leave them in. If you don't like the bits, strain your jam. Make some jelly. I guess it's not really jelly since there's no pectin in it. It's not really setting, but I'm going to use it. It's going to be delicious, and you're going to get a little bite of a raspberry seed, and you're going to like it. or not. Again, make every recipe your own. Again, let's not clutter up my surface that I need. And mix nice and slow to start with until you get enough of your dry ingredients stuck to your wet that you're not going to shoot a bunch of flour and stuff everywhere. Maybe I should do this like split screeny. I don't know. I'm wondering if the ratio is the right ratio. Oh, this is kind of the standardy size for streaming. To have the little face down there in the corner. Okay. So, this is mostly combined. I'm just going to get in there with my hands now to get it mushed together into a lump. I'm going to save that because I know I will need that again. Just want to bring this together into a dough ball. And then this is going to need to refrigerate for like an hour to firm up, because that butter being nice and soft was how we needed it for creating our dough. But that is not going to be our friend for rolling out, punching out cookies and baking them. We want them to be chilled down for that. So I'll have some movie magic for you in a minute. Just going to dump this out on my plastic wrap. It'll be crumbly at first, but just moosh it together. That's my technical term for the day. Moosh it. Until it's mostly together. And then I find it easier to wrap it up and then finish, because you have that buffer of the wrap to keep it from sticking to your hands and counters and things. Let's put this away. Just gonna wrap it and wrap it. And just then pat it down into somewhat of a flatty disky shape. Great. That is going to go in the fridge. And through the magic of planning, we have a nice, chilled, ready-to-go one over here. If Emil were here, he would be proud. So, I've got my just silicone, whatever this is called, just a mat of some sort, for rolling it out, because I don't want to, one, scoop it off the counter, and two, tile counters still grout, so I like doing it on here. Here we go. And, of course, the matching rolling pin that it came with, when it matches my shirt even, too. I'm all sorts of, coordinated today. Wow. I was missing Jiu-Jitsu earlier, so I've got my BJJ 2J's shirt over here. And I'm just going to roll it out. I'm going to alternate which direction I am rolling, because that'll help it not crack so much. And I could also roll it through the plastic or through some parchment, or I can do what I'm going to do. You know what? I already had the plastic out, so let's just use that. Throw it right on top. That'll help my dough not stick to my rolling pin. And I just want to roll this out to about 1/4 inch cookie thickness. You can do it by eye. You can measure it with a ruler. You can also get little bands that go on your rolling pin to give you a template. They just sit on the edges, and then when you roll, it keeps it spaced from the counter and gives you the thickness you are looking for. Make sure it's all even. And of course, I took the plastic off, so I'm sticking a little bit now. Could also flour my rolling pin, but meh. So, comes the fun part. We've got our cookie cutters that are super fancy. So, because I kind of stole the idea, or was inspired, didn't steal anything. I was inspired by watching Spiff's streams. He's spacey, so I made this little spaceship. We've got this guy, which is the alien from Final Space. We've got our Toy Story aliens from the Claw Machine. We've got our little Atari invader. And of course, we've got the pair to make cookie cats. Because what space journey is complete without cookie cats? So, one of the easier ways to start punching out is to get all of your cookie cutters lined up and punch them all in. This Space Invader is going to be maybe tricky to. Maybe some of these won't have quite the detail, but we'll do our best. Especially this one is going to be tricky little bugger. That's fine. Well, let's try. Let's see what's going to happen. Will they lift out? Okay, they lifted out with me. So, let's see if I can. Oh, look, it popped out for me. That was nice. Oh, maybe this is going to be. Oh no! So his little smile transferred pretty nice, but his ears did not come out. Antennae. So he's just got no antennae. We'll see if we can make that happen better next time. Yeah, that little dot in the top of the alien is not coming through. It is warm in here. I turned the air on, but it's still warm. I'm gonna use this towel for my face so I don't sweat on the cookies. Get a new towel for cleaning my hands. Okay. Yep, we're gonna have mostly complete cookies. They'll be recognizable, right? That's fine. Oh, that one. This one has a thinner edge on it. So it's working a little better. Oh no, I killed Cookie Cat. That's okay. He came out well enough that we can just poke him back together. I think these also might be a little on the thick side, so maybe I will roll this out a little bit more. Yeah, these feel thick. They're going to take a few extra seconds to bake. Let's roll this side out A little more. Get a few that are... Of course, I'm putting these on the same tray, so they'll cook close enough to the same. Gotta remember that I can't do cookie cats unless I have both sides. Okay. Yeah, the alien is just not going to have the little dot on the top of his head. Yeah, that one's... Yeah. Well, we've learned some things. I could, yeah, let's try that after this batch. Could dip them. I'll put some flour on my sheet and see if I can't get them that way. It's not the end. We're still going for quite a while, Robo. Glad you could stop by. We are learning about how well our home printed cookie cutters work right now. And finding out that let me get a implement to scoop this one up. Mark is over there making the mooncake sound. Okay. Gonna get my second batch a-going. And this dough, I am not worried about working it too much. It's not gonna get tough on me. So I can just remold all my scraps and make more. Okay. Let's... just gonna have a bunch of extra stuff in here. Oh yes, I did look through after you mentioned Robo and found the settings to make my sound a little higher. And of course I am seeing the bar go up a little bit more. Plus I don't have background noise. There's no video game music like yesterday, so that probably also helps. This is getting a little bit warm, a little bit sticky, so let's put my plastic wrap back on as I roll this out. But then once I finish this round of cutting out, I will stick these scraps of dough back in the fridge to chill back down a little bit. Mark is still making those noises over there. Okay, let's try. I think we haven't even watched the second season of that. Let's get some flour. Just put it on my plate. And see if dipping my cutter in flour is going to help me. No, it's still just delicate. Although I can reassemble him. It doesn't work. There's... Okay, let's try this other method. No, they still, just as I pull out at all, breaks a little bit, but it's okay. We will just heal him up, stick his antenna back on, and he does not seem to be bothered. He is still happy, smiley mooncake. Yes, the cookie cat eyeballs kind of just sit there. See, this one is going to be a little less friendly to me. Let's try it. Let's get out a sharp knife. Make it nice and... Oh, I didn't dip this one in the flour. Yeah, the knife isn't working either. Okay, we tried. It is not cooperating. So maybe we'll just abandon the Space Invader. It's okay. The spaceship works well. Mostly well. But she's sturdy. She'll fit back together. Make some more cookie cats with their... It's like those snake fireworks. And see, Robo, I specifically chose the design that I found for the spaceship, so it looked like a spaceship, and we did not have any of those concerns slash fun comments. It very much looks like a spaceship. Boop. Does do that. Can I turn off that notification though? Like, so it doesn't pop up on everyone? But Mark can figure out how to do that. And we can get one more. Alien. Oh, that one dropped right out. Again, without his little dealy. Close enough. Good enough. Let's throw one of these on here. And I'm just going to pop these in. I'm going to move my oven rack. There we go. Okay. Sorry, Space Invader. You have been fired, destroyed, shot by the cannon, sent back to space, sent back to Omicron Persei 8 with the other video game people that want to do their laundry. Space Invaders need quarters. They come for the quarters so they can do their laundry. Yes, the baking steel is still in there, but I'm not baking on top of it, so it is fine. And while that is baking, I have some more cold dough that I can roll out and get my other two pans ready. I can get somewhat of a production line going. That's the other reason that I was super smart and just conveniently kept my plastic candy. See, there's the audience appreciation right there. as I flour my rolling pin for you, Robo. Enjoy. So you can already tell that second rollout was a little bit difficult because it was getting warm and sticky. And it's nicer to work with when it's fresh chilled out of the fridge. I'm going to remember to roll it a little bit thinner than the first time so we can have not crazy thick cookies. We are not on nailed it yet, so we want our cookies to be fully cooked and delicious and look nice, although I am not doing any crazy decorations, intricate messes of royal icing and fondant. No, we are simple in Quake's kitchen. Rainbow eggplant? Whose emoji is that? Teo is reminding me I haven't played Final Fantasy in a couple days. Hopefully he has been feeding my bird for me. Oh, and that's why that's springy there, so I can get Mooncake's face imprint. Cookie cats. Could just do a million cookie cats, because they're the easiest ones. But I had to be extra and fun and print out many different options. See if I can form this little dot to be on the Claw Machine alien's head. There, looks completely natural. These ones just want to stick in there. I wish those could have just been sized up a tiny bit. Gonna need to learn how to 3D print, 3D design my own cookie cutters. Nice and precarious over here on top of the sink. There's the dicks. The dicks are on top of the head. On top of Mooncake's head. See, that worked nicely for me. Thank you, Rocket Ship. We finally almost caught up on DuckTales. So I've had that kind of image of that spaceship in my head lately. Just gonna keep rocking through these. Make sure to get Mooncake's face. Save all those extra bits. Thought I could get away without flouring it every time, but I guess I was wrong. It's fine. I should actually leave some of those holes in the ships so I can make proper sandwiches out of them. The bottom one will have the full cookie and the hole will be in the top one. Give you a little window so you know what kind of filling you're getting. Lurk away, Robo. We appreciate you being here. not in the... I'll be doing something more exciting in a few minutes. Not that cookies aren't exciting, just we're in the repetitive phase right now as we just punch out cookies. Can't forget mooncake. Here's Antanae. Of course, I could also bust out the Star Wars cookie cutters. I got a few of those up in the cabinet somewhere. Is Mark coming to find? I know I saw Yoda earlier today as I was... We've got a Yoda punchy. Looks like we are ready to see how well Yoda's face translates. Thank you, Bo. I would happily provide you with cookies if I was able. Starting to smell them in the oven. Mark is excited to have a cookie, but he's going to have to wait for them to cool down at least a little bit. We do not want him burning his mouth. Thanks, I was talking about the shirt earlier. It is because I miss some jiu-jitsu right now. I was talking to my friend about it, and I am going to, once I get my second shot, sign up for one of the training pods in which we just have 3 people that train together with only each other. And I know my friend who I'm going to sign up in the pod with has also gotten both her shots. She is vaccinated. The teachers will still be distancing and using masks, so we're going to be as safe as possible, but start learning again because I've got my belt with its stripes on it, and I feel like over the last year I have probably lost the knowledge that gained me those stripes. So, like, yeah, I should take them off and reset myself a little bit. Somehow, I don't think we will go through all these cookies. So, if you want to stop by for some, you are welcome. We can always put cookies in a to-go box. Mark somehow did not find the Vader cookie cutter, which is odd because Vader is his favorite. We've even got a Vader apron hanging out over there, which I've probably used before on here. More cookie cats. More Stormtrooper. More Boba Fett. Hmm. I know. Yeah. Well, that's how the mooncake one works. The mooncake has a little face on it. No, it has a little, just flexible top bit, which has been working just fine. Cookie Cat is great because he doesn't have any little tiny bits. Gonna. It does a little bit, but that's fine. I'll just cement it back together so I can have some solid ones for the bottom of sandwich cookies. And there is my second round of cookies ready to go in. I will just hang out and wait for these first ones to come out, and then I will show you some of the fillings that we are going to be using. I've got one halfway made and one not started yet. I realize that that is my sweat towel, so I will go wash my hands before I start touching a bunch of other things. I can touch the bottom of a tray. That is allowed. Get myself a clean towel. Purple towel is clean towel. I need to put in a million different point redemption options just to see what Teo will choose next. I was also going to say probably don't do the push-ups one in the kitchen because then it's just more hand washing. But if you catch it at the right time and I have to wash my hands anyway, maybe. It'll be a test for you, Teo. You can try to pop that out at the right time. Kind of halfway glad that these ones are one use anyway because they'd be a pain to clean out the eyeballs in anyway. Is that a Danny in my channel? Hi, Danny. Welcome. Glad you can make it. How was Fall Guys? Oh my goodness, I really wish I knew if my shout out was working. Mark, can you shout out Brutal Dan? If it works, do the shout out command. And also for Oren. Oren stopped by too. Hi, Oren. I've been watching you cook too. It's exciting. It's the first time I've gotten another baker on my stream. There's some sort of there's some command. It should be yes, yes it is. I'm yelling at Mark. He's sitting over there. It's nice to have my moderator in the house because I can yell at him instead of hoping he's listening to me. Oh, we'll have to figure it out. But Danny has been playing video games after his date nights. He is a lovely, supportive person and does great flexes too. So go check him out. And Oren is a, I believe, German man who cooks on stream as well. He does a bunch of vegan hobby baking is what I've seen him do. His food always looks lovely and delicious, and he is super nice as well. So check them out. Oh my goodness. Can you turn down the moderator for the emotes? Sorry if we have any bot issues there. I am still learning how Nightbot works and setting it up. There we go. Here's our first batch, fresh out of the oven. They're only expanded a little, but we still see Mooncake's face, which is great. Let's move everything around. And our cookies held their shape really well, which is exciting. Let me get those other two into the oven. Set my timer. Yes, we've got. I tried to do some of the Space Invaders, but you can see that the edges were too sharp, and so the cookies weren't coming out very well. So I abandoned those, but I did pull out some Star Wars cookie cutters. But we've also got the Toy Story aliens, which look like they showed up on the Who ran that poll. That was fun. Oh my goodness. Silly bot. We're learning. And we've got, of course, Cookie Cat, the frozen treat from outer space. And I got to figure out why my headphones like to turn themselves off after 20, 25 minutes for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that, but we learn, we improve, we get better. Okay. I am going to clear off some space and make some fillings. I'm going to move this for a moment. So, number one filling. Actually, I'm going to do that one last. One filling that's already done. This is just some raspberry jam. Blame Claymore for the the bot being too sensitive for emotes. We're tuning the settings, but I just had this cooking on the stove for like an hour plus on really low, sitting on the back burner, the small one. And this is just fresh raspberries, some sugar, and some orange juice, fresh squeezed orange juice. For some acid, I also put a little bit of vinegar in to get that extra acid because I didn't use lemon juice, but I had tons of fresh oranges sitting around, so I needed to use some. Yeah, so that is just cooling down and thickening, and it's lovely, and I tasted it earlier. It is delicious. And I'm going to pair that in my cookie cats, I believe, with some Swiss meringue buttercream, which I tried to make. But I'm going to wait to whip that up at the last minute when I start filling some cookie cats, because I want those cookies to be cooled off before I do that. So let us make our other fillings. So first, I've got just some butter in here, and just like earlier, we are going to just beat that with a whisk real quick until it gets nice and creamy. Getting our arm workout back in. Cool. And then into that, I'm just going to drop a cup of whatever peanut butter you like that you have laying around. I do have smooth for this because it makes it much, much simpler to beat up. We'll figure it out. But it's twitch.tv/BrutalDan and twitch.tv/OrinCooks to check out their amazing streams. Let's find a cup. Half cup works too. It is warm in this house, my goodness. So yeah, Danny was playing some Fall Guys. He said he was having a terrible time of it, but still having fun and playing anyway. frosting links. See, and I made Robo a VIP even, and he's supposed to be able to use the shout out function. Apologies. Is the whole jar your one serving of peanut butter, Dan, or is the half cup that I scooped out? My goodness. So many things to fix before next stream. And so sweaty. My goodness. So that is my peanut butter. It's about a 2-to-1 ratio of peanut butter. Twice as much peanut butter as regular butter. And do not believe Millhouse. He does not know how to make peanut butter. That is not made by putting peanuts and butter in a blender. And I'm just going to mix that up together. That butter just helps loosen it up a little bit. I was saying the weather's been so nice, but it's also been, I guess, just warm in the house today. That's why we have a sweat towel. I guess I did just look up and see that it's 83 degrees out. And then to that, thank you everyone who's helping troubleshoot the links. I just made affiliate the other day, so I am just starting to help to set up all the other features and functions and hopefully start drawing some emotes for people to enjoy. And to this, I am also going to add a bit. Oh, thank you so much, Oren. Welcome, and I will have those emotes to share at some point in the near future, but I gotta draw them first and find some artists to commission. And I'm also gonna throw some honey in here, partially because I was out of powdered sugar, which is no good for when you're trying to make frosting, and also just because I like honey peanut butter. I've got a jar of it sitting back there on the counter that I just kind of eat a spoonful of in the morning sometimes. Especially today when I'm trying to keep my total calorie count low. I just like a nice spoonful of honey butter for a quick protein shot. And there you have it. It's really super simple frosting, icing recipe. Nice and peanut buttery. Doesn't need a bunch of extra flavors because the peanut butter is giving you all that. It's already peanutty and salty for you. Well, we got the links there. We'll fix the shout out at some point, but we got those links posted. And again, thank you so much for the sub. I am so excited to have some, and I'm trying to share the love out there for everyone in this great community. So there is my peanut butter frosting. I will taste it before I say it's all done, just to make sure, because I don't know how salty this peanut butter is, so I don't know if I need to add some or not. Salt level's good. Ooh, that's really nice. So that is all ready to go. But it is pretty soft, so I will toss that in the fridge. There's my tech support back there. I put the lid over here. I don't know why he's tasting it. He doesn't even really like peanut butter. But, whatever. Have fun D&Ding Robo. If y'all want to see Robo play D&D, he plays on Featherfall, Tabletop, their Twitch stream. Mark is stealing cookies. They still need to cool down. I need to get them on. Thanks so much for coming by, Dan. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you for the bits. I am glad you got a chance to come and check it out. And I hope to see you again real soon. I will mail some cookies down to Florida just for you. Oh, he's going to go play real D&D. Yes. Featherfall Tabletop D&D is where Robo plays on Wednesday nights. Oh my goodness, Oren. Everyone's so lovely tonight. I am sweating for these bits. Twitch.tv/FeatherfallTT. There is where Robo plays Descent to Avernus on Wednesday nights. Okay. How hot are these? I can touch these now, get them off onto a cooling rack. You leave them on the tray to cool at first, because if you try to pick them up right away, they will be super crumbly, kind of like those donuts from the other week. And these trays are ready for a new round of cookies, but we're taking a mini break as I get the rest of my fillings together. Mini break from cookies, not mini break from streaming. And we can see where I did not quite roll them evenly because they are a little bit sunken. Where's the light? There's the light. A little bit sunken, so that's why you need to roll your cookies nice and even. But they taste the same, so we're not going to sweat that. We're just going to keep sweating right in this area. Okay. Get these off to the side so I can use them later. Blue towel for the face. Wash your hands. Purple towel for the hands. He likes the peanut butter, which he does not eat peanut butter. It's very silly. But he likes the frosting. I guess if you add enough butter and sugar to something, it's going to taste good, right? Oh, this is the quarantine muscles. They've gone down a little bit since I have not been super consistent, but that's for you. Am I caught up on the chat? I think I am. More thanks, of course. I appreciate you all for being here, and let's finish up this frosting. So, this is some Swiss Meringue Buttercream, because like I said, I was out of powdered sugar, so I couldn't make traditional American buttercream. So this was egg whites that I had laying around and sugar cooked on the stove on a double boiler until they were dissolved, and then whipped up into meringue, and then you throw butter in that. And I have a hard time getting it thick like I like it. I think it's just a little too warm, so I throw it in the fridge, and then I'm just going to whisk it up again now that it's cold, but everything's already incorporated, so I'm not trying to get cold butter in there. And I'm just going to throw this on the stand mixer to get nice and fluffy for me. That is, and I just go ahead and assume I'm going to have to do that every time I make that kind of frosting. We are stretching for Mark. He's a good reminder. And then hunching over. Ah. And that timer is done. Let's pull these cookies. And there's some of the Star Wars ones. These hold their shape really nicely. So one reason to use this recipe. Okay. That is done. That is my nice fluffy buttercream. Let us build a cookie cat. That's what everyone's here for, right? Ha! Yes. I think there is another season dropping, or maybe that's another show that I'm just a season behind on. Mark confirms there is another season of Final Space coming. Okay. Let's reach over and grab my cookie cat. I'm going to flip it onto the flat side. I am going to get my spatula. Put a nice dollop of frosting on there. Because I know this is supposed to be the frozen treat from outer space, but we did not make ice cream on today's stream. So people are going to have to be satisfied with Swiss meringue. I think they will be okay with that. Let's find the prettiest cookie cat topper. And since I am not doing ice cream, I am going to throw some of this jam in here. And there, my lovely followers, is my cookie cat. His ice cream is melting out, but that's fine. He has got nice, fun red eyes from the jam. But he's ready to eat. So let's give it a try. Gonna cut him right in half. He looks nice before we made a mess out of it, right? And if you want those too, you could also just toss those in the freezer if you wanted them to firm up a little bit and be nicer to eat. But, I mean, no matter what it looks like, it tastes good. He's certainly not bleeding because I stabbed him, right? And of course, he's happy to come in and taste test for me. Oh, for those of you who haven't been by before, quick reminder, I'm Warren, also known as Quake. This is my cooking show, It's Good Enough to Eat, he, him. That is my husband, Mark, or Clay, also he, him. He is my official taste tester. But that is lovely. Again, if you would want a smooth jam, go ahead and strain it. But I like the texture. The cookie is lovely and chocolatey. The frosting is sweet. The jam is tart. It is a lovely combination. But let me figure out a place to put this plate. And then I can make a couple more. And then I'm just going to throw them all in a bin and make them fresh for whatever. He's not stealthy. I mean, he did come over here and was going to reach over to grab one, but the camera's in the way, and he might have knocked this one over had he done that. Oh, I almost forgot my last frosting. I've just had this sitting here waiting for me. So this is just some chocolate chips in a cup. I just covered them barely with cream, and I added some espresso powder and a tiny bit of salt. And this is going to make a coffee ganache, a mocha ganache for me. So I'm just going to toss that in the microwave, heat it up for 30 seconds at a time, and just stir it until it's all melted down and smooth. And that's all a ganache is. It's just some chocolate melted with cream and then flavored however you want it. And then it's also super delicious. That's going to be a really chocolatey cookie because chocolate cookie, chocolate and coffee filling, really good. And of course, classic combination chocolate and peanut butter. That's why I made the peanut butter frosting, which is chilling down for me. I'm going to go ahead and put this in a container and put that back in the fridge because I don't want to tempt myself to eat a million of these right now, which I will because I have not had dinner. I'm just doing this in 30-second bursts, and it will only take maybe one or two of those 30-second bursts to make a ganache. Which one is yours, Teo? You want the... Oh. Yeah, but which filling? See, I actually only needed one 30-second blast because this is already melted for me. Although it is not as thick as I want it to be. Looks like I had a little too much cream. So I'm just going to add some more chocolate to it to make it a little thicker for me. I've still got buckets of chocolate chips and wafers and things laying around because my mom went to the Ghirardelli factory and bought like, I don't know, was it 25 pounds maybe of chocolate so we could make truffles. And of course, we used 10 pounds or so, which is still a whole lot of truffles, but we still have 15 pounds of chocolate. I need to figure out what to do with it. I'm sure Mark will just say, make a cake. Make me a chocolate sheet cake. He loves chocolate sheet cake. But I can't just make a cake every week. We don't have coworkers to feed these things to right now. Okay. I really like just making the Swiss meringue buttercream anyway. I'm not a huge fan of the American style buttercream. It just is tastes too much like sugar and nothing else. So I tend to make the French or the Swiss style because it tastes like lovely creamy frosting and not just like a mouthful of sugar, which is not what I'm going for. There we go. This ganache is done. I'm going to let it also cool down now that it's nice and smooth. Although I'll taste it, see if it needs additional coffee flavoring. Baking days, we also go through a million spoons, because of course you have to taste everything. Vegan Italian meringue. Are you going to use aquafaba, Oren? Because I always see that that's the option for making vegan meringues, and I have never tried it. Oh, no, I put enough coffee in there. Ooh, that is lovely. Whew. I mean, a pot of that'll wake you up in the morning. If anyone wants to know what aquafaba is, that is just the liquid that you drain out of like a can of chickpeas. Um, so it's a very protein-rich liquid, which acts just like egg whites. It whisks up very nicely, just like egg whites do. And so it's a great substitute for people who eat vegan. And so next time you make hummus or something with chickpeas on it, oh, that's probably why you have a bunch of aquafaba, because you made all that hummus. I was watching Oren a couple days ago, and he made a whole bunch of bread and hummus, which looked fabulous, and we wanted to eat. I don't bake bread. Mark bakes bread. He's got a sourdough starter that he's been making during quarantine. So he cooks that. I do most of the other kitchen stuff, but he makes lovely breads and pizza doughs. Yeah, we got a sourdough starter from one of our friends. They got it from a pretty well-known bakery in San Francisco. I guess I can touch myself all over because I'm going to have to wash my hands again after doing all of these exercises and things. He didn't make the starter. He got it from the friend who got it from the bakery. But yeah, he does the let's do the exercises before the flex so we get the nice pump on. Losing my headphones. There we go. Whee! Hunched over so my headphones don't fall off my head. These headphones, of course, sound tons nicer, but they don't sit in my ears like the ones I use for workouts do. There's the flex for you. After that nice quick pump up. I'm gonna get less tired as these things go on. My goodness. I mean, yeah, we would love to share these lovely things with friends because I've been eating them all myself and got that quarantine going on, but it's fine. I'm gonna lose all this weight just working out when people make me on my streams. Okay, where was I? I think all my frostings are made. Do y'all need a demo of putting another frosting in between some cookies? I mean, they're all pretty much the same at this point. Let's get those. Let me do one of the rocket chips since I made those for Spiff, and I will send him a photo at some point. So here's my lovely rocket chip cookie. Here's the one with the little porthole. And I'm going to throw it on that chocolate plate and just sandwich it with, let's use the peanut butter, because that's what I'm feeling. And if you don't want to go through the trouble of making buttercream, or you could just throw some gelatin in there, make it marshmallow, and it would hold up much nicer for you. I use this same cookie dough to make witches' hats, which then you make marshmallow, which is just that same buttercream with some gelatin in it, and you pipe that on, and it's nice and marshmallowy and fluffy. But here we go. It's still soft, but that's fine. We are not here to sell these, so I don't have to use any stabilizers in my frostings. Everything is freshly made with love. Of course, I could throw some jam on here too. But if you didn't want the other frosting, if you wanted to keep the filling vegan, just use the jam. It's like a Linzer cookie. And there's my lovely rocket ship sandwich. Of course, you got to be delicate because as soon as you squeeze, it does ooze out on you. And I threw it upside down. There we go. But that is going to be super delicious. But I have had enough. And yes, I know. I just turned them back on. I heard it. I have had enough cookies for the day. I do not need to eat another whole cookie. I'm sure Mark might have another one. But I think that is it. He's stealing this one as we speak. Going off to play some more games. It is a rocket, because if you've ever seen Spiff's games, Spiff's, I forget what his actual thing is. If he was here, I could shout him out. But he has our little rocket ship logo, and so I made little rocket ship cookies. He inspired me, but of course I had to do a million other space cookies. I was going to get these onto the cooling rack. There is my Stormtrooper. And Yoda. Right? Yeah, so those are Spiff's rocket ships. And of course, if you don't want fillings, these cookies are lovely and delicious by themselves. Oh, there's a view of the mooncake. I got his little antennae to sit on there. That was fun. But yeah, these cookies are delicious on their own. Good with coffee. I mean, it's just a chocolate shortbread cookie. Nice, simple, and delicious. Boop. Okay. And so I say this like 4 times every time because I always find something to do before I actually sign off. But that is it for me. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. I will get this posted with the recipe probably next week on YouTube. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should do a separate one for all the frostings. It's going to be a long comment or description section. But yeah, they are all delicious. Thank you for tuning in. If you have anything you would like to... if you have anything... Mark's trying to give me signs over here, but I can't hear. He probably said subscribe to my YouTube. If you have any suggestions of things you would like me to make, I am always open to hearing those. I believe upcoming weeks I was going to make some ceviche, and he says it's delicious, so there we go. And I was also going to make some, let me see if I can find, I have the name, but I've been watching Skyfry also play Little Nightmares. I was chatting with him, and he suggested that I make some nasi goreng, which is Indonesian fried rice. He is from Indonesia. He is a lovely and fun and nice person to watch. Um, so I'm going to make that in one of the upcoming weeks as well. So tune in for those, and I will hopefully see y'all on Sunday for some board games. Thanks for tuning in again. I love you all. Thanks for the follows. Thank you, Oren. Thank you, Danny, for tuning in. Yeah, and I will see you next time. Have a great night, everyone.